This is an excerpt from How to Aim Pool Shots, a 3-DVD instructional series organized as shown here. This is an example clip from the first DVD that covers cut shot aiming systems and how to aim when using sidespin. One technique for compensating for squirt is called backhand English, or BHE. Here's how it works. Again, when you hit the cue ball off center, it does not go straight. It initially heads in the squirt angle direction. For each cue, there is a unique bridge length you can use that will allow you to aim the shot center ball and pivot to apply English, and the pivot will exactly cancel the squirt. The end result is that the cue ball will now go in the direction intended. That's good. The bridge length required for a given cue is called the natural pivot length. On the website, there is a resource page that includes procedures and video demonstrations for how to find the natural pivot point for your own cue. Again, if your bridge is at this natural pivot point, when you pivot the cue to apply English, the aiming line will cancel squirt and send the cue ball in the desired direction. Here's a good way to learn and practice the BHE method. Set up a straight shot into a ball on the rail and try to get a perfectly square hit on the object ball while using sidespin. Obviously, you would probably never use English on a shot like this, but that's not the point. The point is to learn and carefully test the BHE method. Again, to apply BHE, first line up for a center ball hit. Then pivot the cue by moving the back grip hand sideways to apply the desired amount of English, being careful to keep the bridge hand still. Then stroke straight along this new line with fast speed. If everything goes well, you should get a square hit on the object ball. If you don't, either your initial aim was off, or you didn't keep the bridge hand still during the pivot or stroke, or you are not using the proper bridge length. If that's the case, try again and maybe retest your cue with the procedure described and demonstrated on the website. Here it is again. Fast speed was used here, so swerve would not be a factor. At fast speed, the cue ball does not have time to curve on the way to the object ball. Fixed bridge length BHE is most effective either with fast speed and/or when the cue ball is close to the object ball. For longer and slower speed shots, another technique is more effective. It is called front hand English, or FHE. With FHE, you keep the back grip hand stationary while you move your front bridge hand left or right to pivot the cue. The result is a much longer effective pivot length with correspondingly less aim compensation. Everything else is the same as with BHE. FHE will work only with a near-level cue, in other words, not elevated more than the amount necessary to clear the rails. The resulting swerve partially cancels some of the squirt, and the remaining squirt is canceled by the FHE pivot. Here's an example. Again, first line up for a center ball hit. Then, while keeping the back grip hand still, shift the front bridge hand to pivot the cue to the desired amount of English. As with BHE, the method will work regardless of the amount of English you need to apply. With more pivot, the aim is compensated more for the additional squirt that comes with using more English. Finally, stroke straight along the pivoted line, and the cue ball should head in the desired direction. Here it is again. Again, FHE works best with slow shots at longer distances. Much more information about both BHE and FHE can be found on the resource page on the website. Remember, BHE works best for short and fast shots, and FHE works best for long and slow shots. For all shots in between, you can use a combination of BHE and FHE. Now let's look at a variety of shot examples. One reason for showing these is to demonstrate how BHE, FHE, and combinations of the two are applied to compensate for squirt and swerve. The other reason is to demonstrate many game situations where sidespin is a required component of the shot. This example is from a game of 8-ball where right spin is needed to break out the stripe 8-ball cluster. This shot is very short with medium speed, so BHE is appropriate. Here's a close-up clearly showing the BHE. Here's an example where top left spin is required to get position for the 8-ball down table. Here, the shot distance is a little longer, but the speed is faster, so BHE is still appropriate. Here's a close-up view. Here's an example longer and slower shot where left spin is required to get position on the 8-ball across the table. Here, pure FHE is the appropriate choice. Here's a close-up view showing the front hand pivot. For more information, visit the HAPS website at dr-dave-billiards.com/aiming. There, you can view video excerpts from and see a detailed outline of the entire HAPS series.